the Democrats and Republicans have been battling for quite some time. And let me give some real quick, real brief comparisons. The Republicans, they have the fortune and the privilege of simply saying, we don't want to give money away while giving money away. They've never hid anything so far. Not really. But yet the Republicans, they're good at, how can I say, wordplay. They're good at double entendre. They're good at truthful mendacity. It's a lot of oxymorons in there and a lot of contradictions. And the reason that is because the Republicans have the ability to say, this is what we want. We're for the people. We're for Americans. We're for the people. And we want to make sure you get more money by not giving everybody your money. And all the while, the Republican base, the, over 300 million people in this country, they hear that and they like that. And that all stems from during the Red Scare, racist raising and such, with now we know today of redlining. I've heard it before, but now I fully understand, because back then nobody would really want to explain anything. And if they did, it would make them look bad, and they were pretty much afraid of their kind, exposing them and being and being linked with that. It's keeping up appearances. That's the first and foremost thing about any human being, keeping up appearances. And Republicans can easily keep up appearances because they can just, hide in plain sight. They've done it easily. When it comes to the Democrats are the ones that are supposed to be for the people, by the people, and all that, uphold the Constitution, friendly, lovingly, understandably, and accountably. And the Republicans, they uphold the Constitution with extreme vigor. And yet neither one has ever done it. You just gotta keep up appearances. The Democrats wear a beautiful mask where they can just lie easily. And they've done it for slightly 43 years. Just lie. Lie. And now, today, what's happening is, when times get hard, when it comes to, and I'm going to be real here, when it comes to black people, when times get hard, black people just learn to deal with it. And black people will simply just, sadly take it out on their own. They'll cheer and chant and rave for solidarity while being as individual as one can possibly be. And that's what's bred when you are in a capitalist society that is all about making it by any means necessary. Now, at the same time, it don't have to be that way with their Caucasian counterparts. While they can and usually do go through the same stuff, they have the ability, if in conjunction with a black person, they'll get that job. They'll get that opportunity because the job applications will stay out for them, but not for their black counterparts. There's documents, documentaries, movies, and all kinds of things. And more important than that, people that are living it right now. And I have gone through that myself. The Democrats are in charge of supposedly being the accountable ones. Very accountable. And that's not what's happened at all. Matter of fact, the Democrats, anything about them right now, because of how hard things are, has been exposed as a lie. The Democrats are supposed to be, as I've said before, constitutional, accountable, for the people, by the people, and all this other stuff. And yet, after all this time, what's happened? Bernie Sanders come up, Democratic Socialist or social social democrat or whichever. I know there's a difference between the two, but right now, just going with Bernie's rhetoric. But it's come up, and people need to understand something. And this is important. Hear me. Because some of you know it, you see it, but not think about it. Bernie Sanders is actually being, and his policies are for everything the Democrats have said they were for the past 40 years. So you got to ask yourself, since Bernie Sanders is the epitome of everything of the Democratic Party, does it make sense that the Democratic Party is so anti-Bernie? Does it make sense that the Democratic Party that's about democracy keeps trying to push those with the most money? Does it make it look democratic when they push people off the debate stage that have not dropped out and have gained everything that is needed to be on that debate stage? I want you to think about that. If you're out there listening and you've got bills and you know that if you lose your job, you're screwed. You know that if you get sick, you can't afford an ambulance ride. So you got to be able to have a ride. You might have to call that ride, get on that bus. That means you have to preemptively know when you're going to get sick. Tell me, when you have to go to the hospital, a clinic, or anything like that, dentist, doesn't matter. Do you sit down at the kitchen table beforehand, during or after, whichever, and look at your insurance policy, and do you smile about it? When you get your insurance or you're signing up for some kind of insurance, are you really happy? Are you looking for the best insurance when pretty much all the insurance out there is roughly the same with very subtle differences? And I mean subtle, but the only thing vastly different is the sales pitch to you. Are you really happy when you have to go in and you're not 100% covered? You got to pay money up front. Are you happy about doing that? Are you happy when you go to these clinics or hospitals that your doctor will and may say that you can't have a certain prescription level or dose or type because your insurance won't cover it or it's out of your financial range, so they'll give you something else? I know I've gone through that. I mean, are you really happy with your insurance? You just want to stay on it and just be happy with it? Or would you rather just be able to go on in there, be seen, thoroughly examined for what you say and, is wrong with you, and your doctor have the ability to not assembly line you out of there to get more patients in, but to actually sit down and listen, kill the robot, and help the human prosper? I mean, come on. Are you really happy with your insurance? Are you happy knowing that only the richest people and the people that can get the most amount of money are the ones able to be on the debate stage or get enough advertisement on TV? Are you happy knowing that the people that are actually for you are the ones that are getting attacked most by the Democratic Party, even the Republican Party? And might I add, while the Democrats beat each other into a pulp, the Republicans and their base just sit back and smile. And take notice that Republicans enjoy this. They enjoy it. But whenever Bernie Sanders get a bump and he becomes he becomes on the lips of everyone talking, take notice that everyone jumps on how evil and whatnot he is. There's a reason to be pro-Bernie. There is. Now, Bernie's got a trillion mistakes and a million flaws, but at the same time, right now, as I've said before, he is the extreme least of what we need. Voting for Bernie is not a vote for greatness, for complete betterment right now. A vote for Bernie is simplistically bending your knee in preparation to walk in the right direction. That's what he is right now. He is in the right direction. And the Republicans are so far right. The Democrats are so in the right side of the political spectrum. Bernie, who is barely in the left, seems like he is far left. He's not. Not even close. You can't be that far left and be pro-capitalism. That's not going to happen. It's just not. Bernie Sanders, he's talking a great game, and he will play the game. He will. But we need stronger, better. Bernie Sanders is what we need right now. But after that, we need to accelerate to get good things. It's easy for Democrats to tell you what you want. And then, if that's not enough, tell you exactly what Americans want without anyone in the United States of America asking, did I say that? Did I think that? What do they know? People listen with a blank mind and then speak with jumbled messages and not knowing which is which, talking point after talking point without making a single point. So, honestly, since that's most likely how people are, I would say the best thing that we can do is just turn that blankness towards Bernie Sanders and away from everyone else, because they're all against Bernie. Elizabeth Warren, she's gone against campaign promises. She's lying about Bernie. Bernie tells the truth about her, she gets angry. Elizabeth used to be the grand pick, but people who are listening, they're the ones that are wanting to get Bernie and not Elizabeth. And now, what is the talk? Listen to the talk. Everyone is now, if this person is the front runner, if this person is the nominee, if this person is the nominee, if this person is the nominee. That's it. If, nominee, nominee, nominee. And with that being done like that, it's almost to say, I'm great, but if I somehow don't make it, putting that in your head, that's a seed. Don't fall for it. Because I'm not voting for any Republican. I'm not voting for any Democrat. And the Republicans and the Democrats made sure to fight so hard against each other and tribalize you against each other that not one of you would think Bernie Sanders isn't a Republican. Bernie Sanders isn't even a Democrat. He's an independent running on the Democratic ticket. Because even Bernie Sanders didn't like what the Democrats were. Bernie Sanders sure as hell don't like what the Republicans are. And there's a lot of independent voters out there that are in the same camp. And those are the ones that Bernie is mostly talking to. He already knows a Democrat's going to be a Democrat, and he's only worried about the younger voters because the younger voters are going to listen to him, while the older voters only care about the older Democrats hating the younger voters. Bernie ain't dumb. He knows where the battle lines are, and he's focused on the younger voters. And when I say younger, I'm talking about those that are about 35 and younger, down to obviously voting age of 18. That's where Bernie Sanders is looking. That's where he's getting his push from. That's where he's getting most of his donations from. Because they'll, every 2 weeks to a month, throw in $5 to $10 or $25 because they know they would spend that on crap anyway. That's why Bernie is ahead. That's why he's still in this fight. And all of us don't have the same money as a Bloomberg to bomb the airwaves and get his name out there like that and have the DNC, Democratic National Committee, change the rules to get him on the debate stage, where he got annihilated at the opening, middle, and end. And all he did was show that arrogance of, they shouldn't be saying these things, and it don't matter anyway, I'm going to win. As others pointed out, he won't prepare because he's that popular kid in school that no one would dare say anything negative against. But then he went to a different school, thought it'd be the same, and realized, no, we're all running to be the most popular kid. And in that school, only one kid says, I'm not trying to be the most popular. I'm trying to be the most popular and get something done. And that's where we are. And I hope that you all think about that. This has been Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.